get to our second bout of the evening. Into the cage we go with Ricky Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first fighter into the cage. From Azerbaijan, Farid, AliBabazade.
There he is, Farid AliBabazade, 2-0 in mixed martial arts, 24 years old. He stands 5'9", representing the Baku Fight Club in Azerbaijan. This guy's a sambo fighter, loves wrestling, absolutely loves his leg locks. He's been doing it since he was 14 years old. Makes that 10 years, a decade of ground fighting. He says, I don't know much about my opponent. I do not care. Make a referee step out of the way and let's get down to business. I asked him flat out, what do you do in your spare time? You know, what do you do other than when you're training and you're fighting? He says, I love to travel, love to read history books of anything Azerbaijan or just globally in general, and loves to watch his movies. When asked about his perfect fight, he said, it's pretty simple. Get my takedown, finish this guy off with some ground and pound.
And that's an amazing fight. Again, he's trying to do, in a sense, the Khabib-style fight. Just make it aggressive, put his opponent against the fence, take him down, maybe even land the top crucifix, and finish the job on top. And again, that's what he was stating the whole time talking to us, that he just wants to make this a grinding battle. And I'm excited to see what happens.
One thing I really, really like about this guy, Shorty, is he, throughout the week leading up to this event, the confidence in his eyes has been absolutely spectacular. Let's get his opponent out here right now. Back into the cage we go.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponents from right here in Kazakhstan, Salauat Beisenkhanov.
As you can hear, this arena is beginning to erupt anytime a Kazakh fighter makes their way to the Titan FC cage. Here we have Salauat Beisenkhanov, 1-0 in mixed martial arts, 26 years old. He stands 5'5". He is also a grappler and a wrestler, been doing it for 5 years. His last fight was a first-round TKO. He is otherwise known as the bad boy in Almaty, the bad boy of the Almaty fight team. This guy was a street fighter and eventually was taken off the street, put into the gym to keep his mind straight, and he's taken that aggression and become a professional mixed martial artist. He says, look, I know my opponent's taller. I'm gonna have a reach disadvantage, but it doesn't matter. I know he's a good striker. He may be well-rounded, but he's never fought a guy like me. He is a traditionalist here, is Beisenkhanov. He loves to go back to his village, loves to relax, and as part of the culture here, which is absolutely huge, they love to ride their horses, especially with the freezing cold mountains. I don't know how they do it, Shorty, but they do it. When asked for his perfect fight, he said, I want to put on a show tonight. Whatever happens, happens, but it's going to be 50 minutes. I want to do 3 rounds of absolute war and show the Kazakh fighting spirit. He says, I have no worries about fighting at home, and I'm going to show you why. Let's get this one underway right now with Ricky Wright.
Live from Kazakhstan, exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. Titan FC presents 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. And in the blue corner, the regular 2 wins and no defeats, weighing in at 134.5 pounds, Fighting out of Azerbaijan, Farid AliBabazade. And his opponent fighting at the red corner, the regular 1 win, no defeats. Weighing in at 152.5 pounds. From right here in Kazakhstan, Salauat Beisenkhanov. Your referee in charge here, Mr. Dan Mugliota.
All right, let's take a look at our fighter breakdown brought to you by Major League Pools.
You know, Farid, they're both grapplers, so he needs to set up the takedown. But Salauat, he's a grappler. He likes to be on his back. He doesn't mind that. He doesn't mind jiu-jitsu. So again, for Farid, he needs to set up takedown so he doesn't get stuck in those guillotines. And Salauat, he needs, if he gets taken down, to stay active on his back and make his opponent regret taking him down in the first place.
Well, it's going to be interesting because you think about two grapplers, sometimes they cancel each other out and want to throw bombs. And we've already seen two throw, oh, right hand there thrown. Unbelievable. These guys are throwing bombs. There's no caution to the wind here. The crowd absolutely loves it. And AliBabazade said, that's enough. Underhooks, you're going against the cage here, son.
Yeah, that's what Salauat said. He wanted to make this a brawl. He wanted to make this a war, and that's what he's doing immediately. Only, again, 30 seconds into the fight, just swinging away.
Going for a single there, trying to turn the corner. Has a leg. Now he's going in for the guillotine there, Shorty. It's getting locked in there. Let's see if he rolls to his back. No. Now he's forcing the takedown. It's actually AliBabazade that goes down to his back.
And again, he was in a vulnerable position. He tried, he was stuck in the guillotine. All right, he's now stuck on bottom with his back against the fence. But again, now he has a space pushing his opponent back. Is he going to get the takedown?
A lot of power to get off your back in that manner. When a guy's about to mount you, just to force himself up there, had the double underhooks and just lifted the body up, put him against the cage here. Now it becomes a situation of positioning. He drops down for the single.
And again, this is a very aggressive fight. Only a little bit more in the minute in, but he goes for the takedown. And now he's, he's on side mount, but he's just locked up in a tight position. And overall, nothing too aggressive, but and immediately starting to go for the ground and pound. But Salauat trying to reestablish his guard and trying to be in a safe position.
AliBabazade with the blue tape around his gloves. Beisenkhanov with the red tape around his gloves. He's on his back right now. It is basically Azerbaijan against Kazakhstan in this fight here. In Kazakhstan, Beisenkhanov's home country, has to represent here. On his back right now, Farid on top, trying to land some punches, trying to create some damage here. Almost 2 minutes into the fight here, Shorty.
And again, like I said earlier, with the fighter breakdown, Salauat, if he does get taken down, he needs to be active on his back so he makes his opponent regret, even if he doesn't get the submission. But submissions attempts, making his opponent think, twice about going for the takedown in the first place. And again, trying to establish regard, trying to push the head down, but he's holding his opponent on top of him, which, again, if the man on top is punching away, Murgliato's not going to do anything. So this fight is going to last the entire second half of the round on the ground, and you can't win a fight off your back.
He's trying to upkick, trying to go for that leg lock now. Nothing that AliBabazade hasn't seen before. Does the spin, tries to do the sprint, but ends up on his back.
And he locked it up well enough that he didn't know what to do. He tried to go away, but in the process, gave up position. And again, sometimes you don't even need to go for the submissions to get the submission. It's just to get your opponent off, you get him thinking more instead of just throwing ground and pound and laying on top. But you see the position's actually being reversed. He's trying the same exact thing, and it's becoming a calf slicer.
It's becoming, I was going to say, it could become a calf slicer if he can roll to the other side, though.
But the leg is out now. All he has to do is push that bottom leg out, get his top leg over, and
he rolled it to mount. Well done. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is only his second professional fight. This guy's got an unimaginable street fight record, I was told.
Oh,
an up kick there.
And these guys, again, are just going back and forth. Oh.
Foot stop there. Yeah, Murgliato warning him, he can't do that. Now watch for he's going to reap here. He's going to pull and go for that takedown. There it is there, Shorty.
It's that street fighting stuff. Hey, we're going to stomp on, on the head. Why not? But again, he's pushing the pace, making this a war. Even though he's not in the best position in the world, he's punching away. But he needs to start scooting over to the top of the body to keep his opponent flat on the ground instead of going to the hips and allowing his opponent being able to rock back and forth and giving him the space he needs to stand back up.
Less than 1 minute to go here. Crowd already recognizes what happened in the first fight with the triangle. And now we see here the triangle attempt has been thwarted.
That's awesome. Like you said, you hear the crowd reacting to everything that's happening. They know when the submissions are coming in. It's not just some random headlock. They know when something's coming in. So the crowd is even educated enough to understand what's happening. That's amazing.
For those that don't know, combat sports is absolutely massive here in Kazakhstan. It can rival the bigger sports, be it soccer, baseball, volleyball's pretty big out here. But mixed martial arts and boxing, obviously with the Triple G connection, is absolutely huge out here.
And everyone's trying to make their debut in a sense. And with this, again, Titan FC coming over here, being live on UFC Fight Pass, it is the biggest thing for them in MMA. And they're all, again, trying to make their names known. And as you see with Nazarov, the main event, he's done it. He's brought them here. Everyone's trying to look for their fair shot as well.
Not sure if that was the bell that had already gone. But there's the bell there. They're going to have to ring that thing a little bit louder, in my opinion, Shorty, because I think I heard it the first time.
Yeah, and it's a loud crowd. Sometimes it's very, very hard to hear. And one of those things, like you said, you're just going to have to really hit that bell as hard as you can to make sure the ref hears it.
Round one in the books here. Bantamweight fight, a division you know very well. If you're, I mean, we're not judges. We're not here to judge the fight. We're here to call the fight. But based on what I saw there, I'm leaning towards Salauat getting that first round.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely very, very happy I'm not a judge, because that's an extremely hard job. But for this, again, they were both going back and forth. But Salauat being more dominant in the first round. It was still a very, very close battle in the first round, but you have 2 more to go. And it was extremely aggressive, but again, that's what Salauat wanted. He wanted an all-out war. He wanted a 3-round contest, and so far going into the second round, that's what he's getting.
AliBabazade declined the stool, sat down, and his coach was basically saying, look, you need to start working some more punches here. We need to start punishing this guy.
Yeah, and being an aggressive, fight on bottom, just grappling on the floor is exhausting. You'd rather try your best to stand up, throw some punches, and mix it up a little bit.
Farid now informing referee Babazade there's some water that was spilt in his corner.
Okay, ready?
Waste no time. That's it, guys. We're here to fight, not clean the cage. Let's go. Round number 2. Bantamweight action. Titan FC 51. Oh, a nice deep kick down the middle there, but thwarted there.
And again,
nice combination. He's just throwing bombs. Now he wants to end this fight now.
Oh, beautiful head kick.
Through the baseball bat kick there, Shorty. Just missed.
And again, I like his style personally. I'm a person that, takes a lot of damage, but he's trying to make this an aggressive battle in front of his home crowd.
Am I allowed to comment on your fights? Oh, and a nice takedown there. Looking to turn in. Difficult because his arm is being held there by Salauat.
Definitely the hard part.
Yeah,
he needs to push the pace and keep on pushing and keep his opponent against the fence, but scoot that butt out just like he did. Make his opponent's head, pretty much his chin touch his chest. That's how much you want your opponent curled up, so he has to work that much harder to get back up.
I can see by AliBabazade's left leg, he wants to try and, but oh no, it was recognized by Beisenkhanov to say, you know what, you are not sneaking your way into mount here.
What he needs to do again on top is circle his opponent, head against the fence to curl him up. You don't want any triangles, you don't want any arm bars, any submissions attempt coming back at you. And from there, you can posture up and throw your proper pop shots and big blows.
Farid's using his head wisely. He's trying to keep it in the center, trying to get it underneath the chin of his opponent to keep him straight, like you said. Or sorry, straight enough where he's not following in the manner when he tries to turn.
And again, he's in half guard. It's a very, very, proper position for ground and pound. He's not landing anything much, but again, he's staying active. He's staying active on top to where Babazade is not going to want to stand him up. He's throwing punches, he's moving, and like you said, his head is moving back and forth, keeping his opponent flat, and it's harder for his opponent to stand back up.
Seems like he's got his left side trapped. He's got that left, now he's trying to bring it over. I think he's going to try and sneak that left leg either through, pierce through the guard, or bring it around. But not an easy position here. There is a bit of action here, not much though. You think Babazade may step in here at any point and say, guys, a little bit more needs to happen, or he's going to let this go?
I mean, personally, I think he's going to let it go because they're, you know, he's trying to stay active on top. He's punching, he's going to the body, he's going to the head, and he's mixing it up. It's Salauat on bottom that's not doing much. He's trying to hold his opponent down, but again, there's not much to do. If you hold your opponent down, you just hold him on top of you. Now you're wasting more time, and now you have half the round left. Can you win that back?
So he's lost half the round. What does he need to do to get out of this position or change it up in a manner to make his opponent be put in danger, basically?
You know, his opponent on top isn't really doing much. He's just landing little pop shots enough to stay on the ground. So in a sense, you're holding yourself down. You need to force something, push the head back, push the hands down. I know he's trying to go for a triangle on top, and that's awesome because now it makes your opponent move just like that. But now you need to use that as reaction time to get back up on your feet, get off your butt and keep on moving. That's what he's trying to do right now. It's a scramble contest.
And I did grab the shorts there, did Farid, but now he's got the back. He's going in for the rear naked choke. That is tight there, Shorty.
Oh, that is very tight.
That is very tight. He slapped that out real quick.
Oh, this is going to be over very soon.
I cannot. Oh, he's able to hand fighting. Excellent
Great
job there by Salauat Beisenkhanov, who looked like he was in big trouble with that choke.
And that's exhausting. Again, we saw the stress in his face. He just couldn't breathe, but he still forced that hand down, and now he's still fighting. But can he reverse this position? He needs to pretty much do the same thing as Farid was doing on top of him, but bring his head to the fence and curl his opponent over.
Body triangle on though.
Put that foot down on that side to create a little more space. But it's a very hard position. You have someone on your back, and he could be a leech. You never know, and he might be here for the rest of the remainder of the round.
Yeah, 1 minute to go here. Farid was able to take the back, lock the hooks in, and very quickly put in a very tight rear naked choke. But Salauat Beisenkhanov was able to fight his hands, and now he is fighting some more, trying to turn it through his opponent. Crowd trying to roar him on.
And he did an amazing job putting his back to the floor, but he didn't turn hard enough. He needs to keep on forcing that turn. Yes, I know the body triangle is very tight, but if you keep on switching your hips direction to direction, back and forth, eventually it's going to create some space and be able to turn over. But he did it so slow and methodically where, you know, his opponent was able to just keep the back and keep a proper position.
Now he's trying to use the cage. Is Beisenkhanov try and turn in, change the position a bit. There's the rear naked choke again there. He's got 13 seconds. It's off now. And now he's in mount. Farid AliBabazade in mount. Or sorry, wasn't mount. He's got the dominant position now on top. Excuse me.
And now we look at it. It's possibly 1-1.
Yes, 1-1 on my unofficial scorecards.
And once again, it's Salauat's exact type of fight. He wanted an all-out war. This is 1-1. It's pretty much who's going to win that third round and solidify the win.
One would imagine going into this third round right now, both fighters would hopefully understand it's 1-1. Let's take a look at some of the action there, Shorty.
And again, Salauat just pushing the pace, going forward, but getting taken down right here. Yeah, probably holding his arm and trying to hold him tight in a proper position, but didn't do much to scramble back and was dominating on top in the scramble contest. And you see AliBabazade just taking it back, sinking in that rear naked choke, and even holding the back of his head to try not to get that arm exposed, but Salauat just never gave up, and that was an extremely tight position the overall fight out of, but he was stuck on the floor the entire rest of the round, and that's why the third round, he needs to keep on pushing that pace. If he's gonna push and be as aggressive as he was in the second round, that's great, but you need to be smart while doing it.
That rear naked choke defense was absolutely fantastic. Everything, in my opinion, that Farid did correctly, some way, somehow, Salauat said, I'm going to find that arm or that hand, and I'm not going. I've got 5 seconds before I go to sleep. I'll get this done in 4.5.
And that's what it was, like you said. It was the best offensive attack he had. He was holding his head. You know, that's how far his hand was. But Salauat just never gave up, and it shows extreme heart.
High kick thrown there by Farid. Answered back by Salauat.
Again, Salauat's
he's trying to get
stalking.
Farid's telling Dan it's slippery over there. Timeout. Can't do it. Dan's like, too bad. Let's go.
And I like the respect. He moves back. He's like, all right, you know, I don't mind that.
Oh, and a nice takedown there.
Farid, again, a nice, beautiful, you know, takedown. Gets a proper position, but you see Salauat just holding on to the guillotine, but not doing much. We see him looking to his coaches, trying to ask him what to do next. But while holding this guillotine, he's just keeping himself on his back. You have 1 round left. You have no choice but to force your way back up. And if you put yourself in a vulnerable position, hey, that's part of the contest. A loss is a loss. Doesn't matter if you get submitted, knocked out, or lose by decision. A loss is a loss. So he needs to try to force his way back up to his feet.
Yeah, in my opinion, in the stand-up for Salauat's purpose, he's got to keep his distance. He's got a triangle choke here, though. Or attempt a triangle choke, excuse me. But as you can see, AliBabazade able to get out there, looking for side control. He's actually going to a different position now, putting the legs down. He's already trying to set up the back control, Shorty.
Yeah, and again, he's staying just real patient on top, which is, again, very, very smart. You have a very, very hard contest where you might be a little exhausted, and this third round is crucial for you to win in this fight. Just hold the proper position. Again, he has a figure 4 around the legs. Salauat has to really push and use a lot of energy to get him out, and now he gets his legs free. But again, you see AliBabazade just moving over the side mount and just holding proper position. It's a scramble contest. But Dan Miragliotta not having any of it, already warning them, hey, you need action or I'm going to stand you back up.
I think that may have been for an elbow attempt that may have landed on the top of the head from the bottom there by Salauat. But in my opinion, if this fight gets back up standing, he's got to have as much space away from his opponent and not engage with his opponent, because every time they do engage, it seems that he loses the position on the ground.
Yeah. And AliBabazade's doing a great job. He's winning the scramble contest, but Salawat's not trying to get up. He's trying to, in a sense, go for a submission when there's a scramble, but you're losing every single scramble contest. Just try your best to work your way up to your feet and pretty much get away from the grappling contest and keep it standing. Again, he was doing phenomenal on the feet, creating a great brawl, but you need to force your way back up. Again, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the final round. He needs to do something to win this match.
He's got to get that separation. He's got the left foot on the hip right now. Can use that to explode, but he's keeping his body way too long right now. And I know his opponent's putting the weight on him, but he's got to figure out a way. Forget about striking from your back. It's extremely rare you're going to get a finish from the back. Dan now does step in and say, we got to work here, guys. I'm going to stand you up. There you go, Dan Miragliotta with less than 2 minutes to go here in the third and final round here. Bantamweight battle here. He said that's enough, and this is exactly what Salauat should want here.
And you see Salauat immediately trying to push the pace, but he knows what takedown is coming.
He's got to
he was trying to be as patient as possible, but he needs to sprawl as much as possible and not let AliBabazade just get under the hips, lift, and create a scramble and win the scramble contest as he's been this whole fight.
A little more footwork at that point there. Staying busy, not just sitting there as an easy target for your opponent to throw that takedown, because as soon as you strike, he's going to go down and try and take you down to the ground. And a lot of time now being wasted. We could probably say 40, 45 seconds already wasted that he could have been striking.
Yeah, and with this, AliBabazade is doing something we used to do in college all the time. If you're winning the wrestling match and there's only 1 minute left, hey, we're going to take a shot and create a scramble, not even just to get the takedown. I'm already winning. I don't need more points.
Yep.
I'm just going to hold you as much as possible to delay as much time as I can.
Yep. I mean, it seems like a veteran move for a guy in only his third professional fight, but why strike with a guy that's already beating you in striking pretty much? Just get him back down on the ground. You've shown over the past, 14 minutes that if it does go to the ground, I can win this thing, or I can at least dominate.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job, again, hooking the leg, trying to not let his opponent get enough space or even get the foot in under him to muscle out of a position. He's just holding on to the back and just relaxing. He has 30 seconds left. There's not much he needs to do to solidify this round.
And even Dan Miragliotta now said, that's enough, guys. We got to see some action here. We got 20 seconds to go here in the final round.
And that's a minute and a half wasted in a takedown that never even scored on.
Big wind up there by Salauat. He misses, he hits the cage, and it was easy enough for AliBabazade to just say, you know what, do that again, we're taking you down to the ground. He just did that. And here's, tried to grab the cage here to Salauat. And that's the end of the fight, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes in the books in the Titan FC 135-pound division, a weight class that Shorty Torres knows all too well. Both fighters respectful of each other, did what they had to do. Fight's over. Respect and honor shown here by the visiting fighter from Azerbaijan.
And again, a lot of camaraderie. And I respect Salauat because he wants to make this a brawling contest, but he didn't think when he wanted to make it a brawling contest. He saw AliBabazade just ready to go for the takedown, but he didn't mix up his combinations, and it was easy to get taken down because of it. But overall, a really good contest. They went back and forth. 1-1 that third round, I do believe, and I'm going to give it to AliBabazade. He played it smart. He did the veteran move only in his third professional fight. And hey, you know, nod to him.
I got a 29-28 for Farid AliBabazade.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Again, lucky me, lucky us, we're not a judge, because that's a very, very hard job.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the action here, Shorty.
And again, you see the combinations. He started to mix it up in the third round, but when that leg came back, he went for the single leg, went out for the outside trip, and just held a position. Again, every time Salauat tried to throw that big right hand, he just ducked under and shot in. Same thing twice.
Well, let's find out if we are correct. Back into the cage we go with Ricky Wright.
After 3 rounds of action, we've had to go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 in favor. You win by a score of 30-27. In the blue corner, representing Azerbaijan, Farid AliBabazade.
Farid AliBabazade comes into hostile territory and emerges victorious with a unanimous judges' decision, 30-27 on all 3 scorecards.
And again, he played a very, very smart contest. He knew his opponent wanted to get into a brawl, so he decided to take him down, solidify position, and win every round because of it.
Well, he improves his record to 3-0 at 135 pounds. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue that run